Saraya made her third appearance on the Sessions podcast with Renee Paquette this week, talking about her AEW debut, her AEW promo, signing with Tony Khan, her getting medically cleared. That was a really big part of this conversation. Apparently, Paige has come out and she said, Saraya has come out and said that she is 100% cleared. She posted the doctor's note, which was it was like a 5-word sentence, and then a little signature. Is Saraya is cleared to wrestle without restrictions, basically, I think is what it said. That's, and we all kind of blamed like the doctors and that kind of thing, or the AEW doctors is, oh yeah, of course the AEW doctors are clearing, but apparently it wasn't. It was an outside source, and that just enough time has allowed the spinal fluid to build back up around her neck to where she's got a little bit of cushion and protection. If she does get a little pa in the back of the head or something, without that spinal fluid there, one little bump could just fucking be paralysis. But that's there to protect the spinal cord. And as long as that's there, she should be okay. And it looks like it's back to normal levels. But everything, the fuse and all that seems to be working good. So thumbs up there. She's ready to come back. That was a big part of this conversation. And she's going to be careful, maybe not take crazy bumps. She said she was inspired by the Stone Cold Steve Austin match with Kevin Owens, where he didn't take any bumps at all. So I wouldn't look for her to be doing a lot of crazy shit with Britt. But she's back, and that's good. But one thing about that is the fans don't seem so happy about it. She got the big old pop ski when she first came back. What was it, All Out? I don't even remember anymore. No, she came back in New York. The fucking Grand Slam. And then it was the next week that she cut that promo, and it was kind of a train wreck, and she kind of sucked, and the fans roasted her online after that. Like, she caught a lot of hate unnecessarily, in my opinion. Look, well, just listen to the clip, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the back end.
I can look at this all, but it was all very supportive. Even social media was really nice until a week later. And then it all kind of turned a little bit. I was like, oh man. And then I remember texting you with the following week and just being like, Renee, I don't know if I can handle this. And you kind of took me off the ledge a little.
Yeah, it's a different world. AEW and WWE are run differently. You're thrown in the deep end. We're out there and we're making it happen. And then the fans got up in arms about the whole thing.
And I didn't even think it was like that awful. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I don't think it was that bad. Like, watching it back, I was like, I don't think it's that bad. But there is some fans on the internet where it's like, if you go over to AEW from WWE, they fucking hate your guts. That's it. You're toast. You're dead to them. And they make it known and they go crazy. And I said to you, I haven't seen this level of toxicity in a very fucking long time. Like, it is crazy. Like, I can't even look at my social media. I made the rookie mistake of looking at it after the promo, and people just fucking buried me. And like, I didn't know what the fuck I was going to say. There's no plan with these promos either. Like, you have to go out there and say whatever, but I also don't know what I'm supposed to say. Like, what am I doing here? Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, what is the plan? I don't know. So I'm just like, oh fuck, well, I can make that revolution. And then like, once I got out there, like, the nerves just hit me like a ton of bricks. I was just like, and I don't want to make excuses for it. I really don't. Like, I fucked up. It is what it is. But I started stumbling my words and stuff.
I mean, saying fucked up is like drastic. It's not like you went out there and said something wrong or bad or like, you went out and it was just like, shit, you've not done it in a minute and you're just in a new world and you're like readjusting. People are just very unforgiving in those situations.
Yeah, she was very hurt by this. She did, those comments almost made her second guess even coming back to begin with. You guys got to be careful out there. We as a wrestling community, like, we look at our entertainers and we expect them to be superheroes and entertain us and everything to be to our liking. And, we got to realize that these are people out there, not just people in that their feelings get hurt. And when you say stupid shit like that, that can really fuck with sensitive people. But also just in that she hasn't done this in years and years and years. She has not wrestled. She hasn't cut a promo. She's rusty. She's not, and she wasn't like the greatest promo in the world to begin with. So you gotta cut her slack. And then on top of that, it's a different kind of promo. In AEW, it's like there's no script. You know what I mean? In WWE, here's what we want you to say exactly, word for word, and go out and nail it. And she was very vocal about the fact that AEW didn't really give her any direction, and it was uncomfortable for her at first because she's out there without the training wheels. She talked about this on Jericho's podcast. Now she kind of went into it here with Renee as well, but there was no direction given to her when she went out there. And like, on one hand, that's really bad. Like when you have a star like Saraya, you gotta give her direction at the very least. Let her know where you want things to go. But it seems like everything was very up in the air. Like Tony doesn't even have an idea for her. This reminds me of WCW. They were just signing people, and then a lot of those people were saying like they didn't know how to use us. They didn't have any plan for us. Bret Hart, remember when he got brought into I'm digressing here, just bear with me. Remember when he got brought into WCW? Like he was used so shitty. He could have been like the guy that finished, the story that they were telling was Sting to beat the NWO and win the championship. Well, they quickly flopped on that because Sting didn't get his tan to Hogan's liking. So they put the big kibosh on that push. They could have came in and did something similar with Bret, where Bret was the hero that finally took the belt from Hogan at Starrcade, at the next year or the year after that or whatever. But it just wasn't to be. And with Saraya, it seems to be that's the direction again. You bring in the star. And I don't know, we'll figure it out. And the same thing was said for Renee. Like there was no actual plan. Here's what I want. Well, I don't know. We'll just bring you in and we'll figure it out from there. You can't do that. You can't do that. And so Soraya's out there bringing it back to her. She's out there without any kind of net. She's on live TV. There's no script. There's no bullet points. There's no direction. We don't even know where you're going to be. If you're going to be feuding, we don't know. You're not cleared to wrestle yet at this point. There's literally no direction. Just here's a microphone. Go be Paige. Go say hi to the crowd. You know what I mean? Now, look, I could do that. You know what I mean? Like last time I worked, and I'm not trying to bury Saraya here. I'm just saying, last time that I appeared in an indie fed, it was basically like, yeah, go cut a promo. I wasn't working any kind of angle or anything. It was just like a surprise appearance to, hey, just go out there and fucking whatever. You know what I mean? And I went out there and cut a hell of a promo. But I guess if you're not used to doing it on the fly like that, and I'm not trying to get myself over, I'm just saying like a talent should be able to come up with something on the fly. You know what I mean? Especially like wrestlers are a creative bunch. You should be able to just gladly take a microphone and go talk. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I can go fill a promo. I'll think of something. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Saraya had no direction, and she cites that and just that in her rust. But the fans ate her up for botching it out there, and she's got it in her head. She's probably gonna fuck up again, though. She cut a hell of a promo. She kind of redeemed herself. She really did. Other than just burying Britt a little bit, I felt like she buried Britt in her most recent promo. Just kind of saying, what have you done? You haven't done nothing. You've been handed everything. It's the same shit that Punk was saying when he was at the press conference, like Hangman, what has he ever done? Oh, I don't know. Only ever been the world heavyweight champion, of the second biggest company in the world. So that's something, but they dismiss it. These WWE people are dismissive of anything like, oh, you haven't been to Madison Square Garden. It's my best. It's the best British accent I could do. Just fuck off a little bit. Okay. But, aside from that, she cut a hell of a promo. So I think she'll get her mojo back. And we got to give these people time to get their wheels back under them, even the very best of people are a little bit rusty at first when they first come back. You know what I mean? You gotta give people a little bit of leeway. You got to give Saraya time, and she's got to find Saraya. She was with WWE playing Paige, which wasn't really a character. It was her, but it was, she's being told, she's being booked the whole way through. Here's what you're doing. Here's where we're going. Here's what we want you to say. Here's how we want you to look. Go do it. You know what I mean? And now she gets the opportunity to just go out there and create on a blank canvas. And this is harder to do for some people, and it shouldn't be. I think every wrestler should have the ability to create on a blank canvas from scratch. I think any wrestler should jump at the opportunity to be handed a microphone and given the opportunity to go fill time on national TV. I'm not saying she wasn't jumping at the opportunity, but any wrestler should have in their skill set to be able to go out there and fill that time. You know what I mean? And to be able to be creative and put your matches together and put your angles together. I think the people that are struggling in AEW are the people that are not as creative, and that's fine. Maybe we need to filter this out. We need to separate. That's the difference between sports entertainment and pro wrestling. One of the major ones anyways, right, is AEW is a wrestling company. You come over here, the WWE guys, like a Miz is gonna walk into AEW and fucking well, this what kind of animal house are you running here? This place is, the fucking screws are coming out of the wood here. You don't have anything written. There's no script for me. You don't have a plan for me. It ain't that kind of thing. Come in and create. Jericho loves it because he's a creative guy and he gets to basically make up any kind of bullshit that he wants to do. And that could be a detriment, right? Fans watch Jericho and think some of the shit he does is cringe and stupid, but he's doing all of that. And he's even come out and said the first promo that he cut in AEW or unscripted was like a little bit nerve-wracking on live TV because it's like, oh shit, can I still do this on the fly? Every wrestler should have the ability to speak on the fly without a script, and every wrestler should have the ability to, I think, be able to wrestle a match on the fly. I think you shouldn't graduate wrestling school until you're able to both follow a match play by play and put one together on the fly. They should run drills in wrestling schools where they have a script and you're planning it out beat for beat, and then somebody pretends they're hurt, right? Like, okay, oh, my knee's out. So now we can't do this now. We gotta wing the match from here. We gotta call it on the fly and run through those drills so these people are prepared for these kind of things before they reach national TV. That's just my humble opinion. And Saraya, I think a lot of people forget. I'm about to wrap up here. I won't go too much longer on Saraya, but I think a lot of people forget that she's, and I was guilty of this too, that Saraya kind of represents, even though she was the anti-diva, I feel like she really represents that diva era still to me. And, she's bogged down by a lot of the partying and the Alberto Del Rio shit and the Xavier Woods, Brad Maddox fucking shit and the cum shots on the NXT title. And like, oh my goodness. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's been defined by a lot of the diva activities. But I think we forget that she was born and raised in the wrestling business. She fucking loves wrestling. I think she is at her core. I think she is a wrestling fan, and it's like in her blood, literally in her blood. But I mean, I think we don't give Saraya the credit enough for being a wrestler. And I think it's time for her to kind of, now that she's cleared and now that she has a blank canvas to work on and she's a big enough star to basically call her own shots, I think it's time for Saraya to go out and live the life of a pro wrestler a little bit. go in there and start creating some great bodies of work. And I hope, we're starting to see some decent shit between her and Brett. I really hope they're able to deliver and she's able to build off of that, regain her confidence, and go out there and have the whole second run of her career and really end things her way and on a high note.
Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.